So,
Fine.
apologies for the technical difficulties. We are now going to have a chance to hear the story that we have been all writing together today, which has been terribly exciting for me. I am on the seat of on the edge of my seat, the seat of my edge. I'm not sure where I was going with that. Anyway,
Edgy, dude.
totally edgy. So, the last I checked, we had not quite come to the end of the story, so I am really excited to see where this goes. And I will hand it over to Tim to read the story for us and bring it to a satisfying conclusion.
Satisfying.
Or a tragic one, or an absurd one, however you like.
That's right.
Here we go. This is
That's
our
right.
story.
All right. All right, here we go. The collaborative fiction of Doxacon 2021, written by Elizabeth, Megan, Laura Brown, Tim Brown, Ev M. Cook, John Graham, Tanya E. Keenan, Robert King, Paul Schneider, and Mindy Welton Mitchell. Story in order of precedence: Prince Reginald, played by Tim Brown; Prince Reginald's retainer, played by Tim Brown; Mark the Rake, played by Tim Brown; Varen the Goatherd, played... Oh, get on with it. All right. Anyway. In ancient times, the people consulted the oracles to learn the will of the gods and to solve their problems. But Varen was sure no oracle could have predicted this problem. He was pretty sure his goat shouldn't be talking to him, and that it shouldn't be warning about the coming of great darkness. So Varen headed to a real bona fide oracle to figure out what was going on. Prepare for the coming of the eternal night. Prepare for the snuffing out of light, of joy, of all hope, wailed the goat. Shh, be quiet, Varen hissed, cheeks burning as he tried to hurry through the market street. But they did not escape notice. A princeling, eyes wide, gaped at them as they hurried by. A talking goat, he whispered in awe. It must be mine. Prince Reginald leaned towards his retainer, Edgar. Edgar, he intoned in his most authoritative voice, fetch me that goat. I must have it. Then Edgar turned and ran after Varen, who himself was running after the goat, which had bolted between two market stalls into the alleys of the city. Edgar's pounding footsteps and harsh breathing attracted the attention of the rake, leaning on the wall outside the tavern. Nudging his companions, he nodded towards Edgar and took off after him, drawing his rapier as he joined the chase. Varen, Edgar, and Mark the rake all lessened the distance between them and the goat, who had stopped in front of the local magistrate's building and was working at jumping upon a series of objects to reach the roof. He was still bleating his warnings to prepare for doom. You will all be turned into cabbages, and that's just the beginning. Mark cackled. It sounds like your goat wants to leave him alone. Wants you to leave him alone. Better give him over to me. He waved his rapier threateningly, grinning. You will not, cried the young prince. He's mine. You shall not have him. His retainer rolled his eyes and heaved a sigh, thinking, what will become of Prince Reginald when he begins to become a man? I need a new position. A smirk crossed Varen's face. You can have him, but be forewarned, his diet leads to some disastrous consequences. The prince shrunk back in horror. Mark hesitated, and in that moment Varen took off as the goat leaped from the building towards freedom. Having put off their pursuers, at least temporarily, Varen scrambled to catch the goat before it reached the cliff. If the goat made it to that rocky face, Varen would never be able to catch it. Watching the others chase after the goat, Mark sheathed his sword with a look of disgust on his face. Oh, too much work, he growled. At least nobody expects cabbages to pay their bar tab. He returned to the tavern and signaled the barkeep for another round. But, whined Mark, the prophecy, the flying goat. You can't leave it be. The barkeep shook his head sadly over Mark's confused, drunken condition. Baron, Prince Reginald, and his retainer gave chase to the goat until they were out of breath. Their last sight of the prophetic goat was of it leaping among the crags of the Oracle's mountain. In the distance, as night fell around them, the goat's voice barely reached them in the chilling wind. Cabbages! Cabbages! Dun, dun, dun. The end. There you have it. Yep. Thanks everyone for the contributions. There was absolutely no editing, just an ending I tacked on. So that was the best dramatic reading I could give with absolutely no practice and no pay. So there you go.
Best dramatic reading we could ask for the best story we could ask for. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tim. We are going to, well, the next session is our lay keynote. That will be at about 3:30. So that gives you about 15 minutes to talk amongst yourselves in the Discord chat, and to perhaps consider the implications of this story we've written for all of our lives. Looking forward to seeing you in a few minutes. God bless.